Hello and welcome to the director's commentary for Corpi. I'm John Edwards, director, writer, producer, and also I starred in the movie. Corpi, the name, comes from what it means for the dead in Latin, and the opening sequence you're about to see is going to make that a little bit clearer. Kevin Steer, that was, makes the first appearance of the movie. He was the one from whom we borrowed the suits that you see in this opening sequence. That was Danny. We did that about 2 or 3 times because you see, Danny said the words "shit sniper" in such a camp way that we do that a lot of times. And that was Dave and Alex there you saw, respectively, getting killed, and me. When I showed that to a couple of people, they said I looked like I'd just seen a ghost. Which I thought was a bit of a comment on my acting abilities, because that's precisely how I'm supposed to look, really. Bulgaria was actually shot in Bulgaria. It was where I formulated the idea for the movie, then called Last Man Standing. So we sort of took advantage of the location. These bits were supposed to be shot in Bulgaria. These bits with David Sumner here playing the lead. And it was my dad playing the lead originally, but we didn't like it. We couldn't hear it that well, and so we had to reshoot it back in England. And I loved some of the shots here. This is my little brother doing all the camera work for Bulgaria, and he actually did a pretty good job. I was quite impressed, really, with him, considering it was what 11 when we filmed all this. Not actually night vision, this is just a green sort of filter, but it sort of did the job, I thought, in a really crap sort of way, but it's well, you know, it provided something.
Find your guy?
Stop playing.
Now this bit,
I know they're not here.
I had already done one,
Tell me
not in Bulgaria, but one where you could actually see a little bit more of the movie, but of the shot, but it wasn't so dark. But I didn't like it very much because I looked fat. I think it's in the deleted scenes, but I really didn't like it. I didn't really want to put it in the final cut, so this was sort of my alternative, which was to shoot a very quick scene in the alley behind my house. You can just sort of make out the mobile phone there. You can just make out the paper a little bit further back. This was Burgas Airport in Bulgaria. I just thought I'd take, just like, little something maybe for like establishing shots, moving backwards from Bulgaria to England. This was shot in the Barrel House, which is a very nice sort of restaurant, cafe, bar sort of thing at the top of the high street in my hometown of Totnes. It was very nice, and we used to hang around there a lot at sixth form, and so going there to get some lunch and whatnot. So I don't know, sort of paying a little bit of homage. I mean, you don't see us at the Bat House just to prevent any like sort of copyright breaches. And also, the filming wasn't that obvious, so it was alright. I should explain that sort of the reason he's getting all worked up is because the fact is El Bueno is supposed to be his girlfriend. Well, she's supposed to be his ex-girlfriend, but the way it was sort of portrayed in this movie, she's just sort of his girlfriend, current,
Don't know locales.
I didn't really have a chance to explain everything, like, everything like that.
Sounds familiar. Which location?
This is Stephen Wellington speaking. I couldn't make it sound like a phone voice, but I think it works anyway. I don't mind it so much. I think it looks alright. Sounds alright anyway. And this is Stephen visually he helped out a little bit with the movie as well. He was the one that sort of first introduced Kevin Steer to the movie, so we could get the opening sequence done. He also got me the BB guns, which you're going to see in the fight scene coming up. And he also helped out. He was going to sort out editing for me as well, visual editing. Again, which you're going to see in a minute in the opening sequence. But the person who actually had the professional editing suite, I had, like, I don't know, quit college or something like that he was attending, and I wasn't quite sure of the details, but still, I mean, I think I did okay without it. This is David Hurd's old house. David also helped out with the movie quite a bit, because he was always the one going on about it. There he is. There's the man himself, who has about 20 odd deaths in this movie. It was just the longest running shot in it, and we did only a couple of takes, but now that's sort of the visual editing I did. You saw it again before, and there, sort of. I did it on Paint, can you believe? I like this quick editing. Very impressed with myself there. I quite like the way I did that, actually, because by cutting out the frame, I mean, I couldn't help it really, but at the end of the day, I quite like it, because it you sort of felt the force of the bullet, maybe. You sort of felt the heaviness of it as the triggers pull, and I quite like it. I quite liked it, really.
And if I do, it'll have your obituary written on it.
I quite like that shot. I don't know which film I stole that one from, but we had to cut it quite finely, because so just as the clips fell, the cameraman Alex Elsie started laughing, so I had to cut it quite finely. Here he is. There's his death. Alex did have another death in this movie, but the fall was so bad that I did have to cut it, and it wasn't that necessary anyway. Major continuity error, of course, in the fight sequence, this house sequence, because of the fact it moves from day to night very quickly. And as you can imagine, I mean, filming takes a very long time, because you're having to set up shots and make sure that everything's okay. And so, yeah, as you can imagine, it's stretched out over a long period of time, and we filmed this bit as well in a different place, at a different time, sorry. And that's Chloe Taylor there. I knew her from a drama group that we'd been to a few years back, and she sort of agreed to play the girlfriend, which was incredible, really, because I thought I'd have to be chasing girls to play the part. And she didn't even mind the kiss either, so very grateful to her for stepping in there. Now, the Nebulous. I don't know if anybody's going to be at all interested in knowing what the Nebulous is, but I'm not revealing a thing. Hopefully, I like to turn Pro Corpi into something a little bit wider, or something a little bit bigger. I don't know when that's going to happen, and I don't know if it ever will, but, you know, it'd be quite nice to, you know, make something out of it. PowerPoint presentation. But this bit, he's got white, he's gone to heaven, apparently, that's what I'm saying. If he's actually dead, of course, you know, that's what you have to think about. I love this movie, the music for this movie. I wanted to create my own theme, because I didn't want to, you know, sort of again go into copyright law or whatever, you know, like that, you know, trying to get permission to and paying out like money or what have you to have it featured in this movie. At the end of the day, I mean, it's nothing special, the movie itself, but I didn't think it would ever really be shown seriously, have a serious screening maybe. But nonetheless, I mean, I like to think that in a few years' time, maybe I could maybe show this movie and, you know, I wouldn't have to go through all that. But this music was composed by, well, I sort of composed the piano piece, then gave it to a guy called Sam Massey, who was very big musical wise, at sixth form, a friend of mine, and he sort of just added in the strings. And there was another one with where he had an oboe originally, which is also on the disc. But thank you very much. That was Per Pro Corpi.